Hello everybody, I'm here with a Singer sewing machine. It took me a while to find that model number. Boy, every time I turn around, they change and where they put these darn things. This one's on the bottom of the machine. The model number here is MX231. It's needed a deep cleaning. She said that it was having problems with the thread on the bottom was not sewing correctly, and she thought it was a tension issue. She played with the tension, could get nothing to work. She said that she tried a bunch of other things, still couldn't get it to work, so she gave me a call and asked me if I work on sewing machines, and yes, I do. And wanted to know what it needed to be done, and I says, well, let's go with a deep cleaning just in case there's something else going on that we don't know about. I didn't think about the thread of the bobbin. I usually do that troubleshooter thing with people, but I guess I had so much going on in my mind. I think I had talked to 3 other people or something like that about their sewing machine. My brain wasn't fully into this sewing machine. Sorry. But anyway, we had a deep cleaning and I checked all 4 points. This is this area, this area, this area, and this area. All been checked out. Everything is in working order. After I cleaned it out, I found, you see those little dots, there's like 3 of them. Okay, those little dots are blue and 2 white, are pin tops. In other words, the pin was being sewed through and somehow the top fell off and went inside the machine. I found those in the gears. It took me a while to get them out, but I think I got them all out. I didn't see any more gears being disrupted. Found a little bit of lint and dust and lots of thread wrapped around the gear area down through there. I told her that you probably won't even see it there. A lot of people look at me all the time and say, oh, but I looked at everything. Well, I can see stuff that you won't even know that was there. Let's see. Let's go over the machine a little bit. I want to go over the bottom here. This is called a bottom feed. I always ask people all the time, what kind of sewing machine do you have? Is it a top feed or is it a bottom feed? And they look at me like, or they say on the phone, what is that? Okay, does it feed from the bottom or does it feed from the top? And she said, well, it's in the bottom. So this is called a bottom feed, okay? And this one has a little arm, table. This is called a table. And this is a compartment right here. It keeps all her little stuff in it, like needles and, whatever she might need. Let's see what else. Let's see. This is your selector dial, even though it starts with S with Singer, but it's actually a selector dial that selects whatever you want to do, okay? This is your length up here. It shows you this little line here, but it should be written length, width. Width means to make it zigzag and do all kinds of different things for your different selector stitches that you have in this machine here. This is your tension. It has this on here, meaning tension. Meaning that they're both sides are supposed to be working together. If one side's not, like a lot of people say, well, I heard that the bottom, if it's messing up, is the tension. But if the top is messing up, it's the bottom tension. No, lie. It's all to do with this tension. If it's the top tension right here, then it's still this dial, okay? Unless you're using a different type of thread. Like if you decide to use a heavier thread like upholstery thread, then you might have to adjust this down here, okay? But if that's a different tension. But if it's not, and you're using a polyester or cotton, it's not that. It's not going to be the top. It's going to be mostly the issues with the bottom, okay? And it's this dial here. If you can't get it to reset, then there's ways to reset them, and I have a video on it on my YouTube channel that tells you how to reset them for problems for top or bottom. Anyway, but that's what that is, your tension. Okay, this is your bobbin rewinder, okay? And how that works is you got your thread that's coming from the back and over like this. And what you do is you're going to come up here and you're going to circle this little dial thing, this little guy here, okay? Right there. It goes underneath it, comes back this way, in there. Then you want to click it over, okay? It disengages the sewing machine because it's called an automatic. And when it does, and usually it does, when it fills, they're supposed to click back. But sometimes they don't always click back, okay? They need to click back, though, not just to hold it and gently do it. You have to hear it click back. then it engages the sewing machine again and causes it to sew. Because if you just slightly click it back and it doesn't go through, it'll still spin this and it's not running this. So we want to make sure it clicks back, okay? Let's see what else. Oh, and then when you want to thread this machine, you always want to come from the back side of the spool right here, okay? And it goes through this little guy here and in this little slot here. And right before you get to that next part you need to do, you want to make sure your foot is up, okay? When the foot is up, it opens the chambers inside your tension, okay? So your tension's somewhere in this area, because if this is here, it has to be around here somewhere, okay? And that opens the chamber so you can bring that straight down and then around. And then this is called your uptake. Uptake means to pull the thread through the tension. So then you can actually put this back down and then you go back around this way, come back down, hook it in here, and then into the needle. Okay, sorry I have the needle down. Sometimes that happens. I'm too busy trying to do different things. Anyway, and I'm trying to think of anything else I need to tell you. Oh yeah, whenever you want to move your tension, okay, make sure the foot is down, okay? Make sure your needle's in the highest position. So don't move it, okay, until your needle is in the highest position. Highest position means the uptake is up here up on top, okay? If you ever want to use a revine and you're going to push it down with your thumb or your finger and you have your fingers up here, don't do that. It's going to hit your fingers. It's going to scare the crap out of you. I know, I've done this so many times. I just don't want to make you get freaked out and scared, okay? But anyway, that's your reverse, okay? All right, and then how you turn this one on is you want to come over here and there's a little button right there and you click it and it turns it on. There you go, we're on. Okay, now let's see. Oh yeah, whenever you make a bobbin and you're going to put it down in the bottom, okay, make sure you cut the tail off. Okay, there will be a tail left over on when you take it off of here and you put it down here. Cut the tail off. Use your scissors, okay, and cut your tail off, okay. They're going to be the main thread that's coming out of the spool. Then leave that alone. But there's going to be a tail sticking up. You need to snip that tail. Or you're going to have problems on the bottom when you stitch, okay? We don't want to have problems on your bottoms when you stitch. Make sure you cut the tail, okay? Sometimes you're making a project and you got these little tails hanging out, and sometimes they're really long. Make sure you cut those off, because the newer machines will suck them down in there and cause all kinds of problems. I think that's what these were, a little threads getting stuck down inside the gears, because that will suck it down there and snap. And you'll hear something snap and you go, what is that? But then you notice it's still sewing. Well, it's because it probably took out those little threads. So any of these little, now this is not so bad, but I'm talking about real long pieces that get caught in the machine, okay? Anyway, let's see what this one sounds like. Here we go. I'm going to go forward. Now I'm running in denim. Denim makes it a little bit tougher. And push it down, forward, back, and then this way. See that uptake. So when you go up in the uptake, see, watch this thing. See how it goes way up there? You don't want to hit your hands. Okay, so make sure you're only using your pointer finger and keep your hand away from this side. So just put it down in there. Anyway, keep going this way. I know, you're probably thinking, man, this woman has been sewing a lot on here. Well, this is like the third take of this, because I said a few things wrong, so I had to stop myself, and I don't want to mess up. And right now I'm getting ready to lock this down for her, but I want to get this in the center, so we're going to do that. More right about there. Looks good. All right, that keeps this part from breaking. You want to always keep it down. I don't know if you ever heard about that. Keep it down, have no problems with it or whatever. And when you keep it down like that, it keeps this from breaking. Because if that breaks, I can't switch them out. You have to take it and send it back to manufacturer. If they can fix it, then they will. If they can't, they just give you a certificate to get a new machine. There's nothing they can do for you. Now, if it was your fault and you broke it, then technically they'll make you pay for it, and I'm not sure how much that will be. Anyway, but it's been sewing really well. All the backups are working. Everything's working good. See underneath? This looks great. And it looks good here. Anyway, this is a 2-ply cotton. Now, if you're going to do a 3-ply cotton, like denim to make a hem of pants or hem of pair of shorts, you want to go up on the number a little bit between like a 5 to 6, so it doesn't push too much, because the tension's going to need to be strong enough to get through, okay? And this is just a 2-ply, so you don't really need to do too much with a 2-ply. I'm trying to think of anything else I'm not missing or forgetting. Or oh yeah, when you go and clean this sewing machine, okay, the best thing to do to clean is this area here, the hub, this whole area, this foot and everything. Keep it all clean, okay? Take the plate off. Unscrew it and take the plate off, and keep those feed dogs clean, because half the battle is keeping the feed dogs clean, meaning taking a toothbrush. This is a oil toothbrush. I mean, there's different types, but this is an oily one, so that's why it's so dark. I use it to get rid of anything I can't get to, and it helps me pull it out. But anyway, but you use a fairly nice looking toothbrush. I mean, when you're not using it on your mouth anymore, and just kind of push it back and forth, and that helps get rid of all the stuff in the feed dogs. So sometimes the feed dogs get clogged, causes a lot of issues in the bottom too. So that's what mostly, whenever you have a sewing machine like this, the only thing you need to be worrying about is the feed dogs. Maybe around the feed dogs, clean up anything, use tweezers or somehow get it out of there, and this hub area, keep this area all clean, because that can have a lot to do with it too. But anyway, overall, if I had to tell someone a good sewing machine to buy, this would be a good one to buy because it's so simple and easy to run. My brother has them. I'm trying to think of all the different companies that have them. Let's see, Kenmore used to have one. I think I have 8 of those left. I had a total of 20, because I was going to teach 20 people how to sew, but then my husband said that might be too many people. Maybe you should come down. So I sold half of them, and half of my customers have them now. I'm going to do some YouTube videos on teaching people how to run them better. But then it can apply to Singer. I mean, it can apply to anything, because they're all made the same way. So let's see, and I think it was an Alt Trace, I think it was called. Back then they were $136 for the Sarn sewing machine. Nowadays you can find them for about $75. So most of the time people bring them to me and they're broken, and I'm thinking, great. They says, well, how much would it be worth me to fix it? Well, that's going to be $100 for fixing it, or you can just buy another one like I have for $100. And she's like, really? And I said, yeah, because by the time you pay me the basic rate to clean it, then I have to charge you for tearing the whole thing apart to put the plate replacement part in that costs like $10. You're going to be up in the hole about $135 is what it's going to end up. It's going to be costing you the same much if you bought at retail. Or you just buy one for $100 from me and be done with it. That's what I do. And then what I do is I take those ones and put them out there, and eventually get one that doesn't have maybe something that is missing something, and then all I have to do is swap out the parts, and then darn thing's now working again, and I got another one. So anyway, I'm rambling again. I hate when I do that. But these simple sewing machines, I consider them simple, are great for teaching a child, teaching someone that always wanted to learn how to sew that's a little older, or an older person that doesn't want to have to lift up a heavy, horrible machine, and she's done with those machines and wants to go with something that's simpler. This is your machine. Or you can go with just about any other type machines that they're made with just a simple basic stuff, okay? I don't really like the ones where you have no control over the tension, no control over any of that. There's just one knob and that's it. You're like, ugh. And you still have your backup button. It's just one knob and there's nothing in it. Those I don't like, because you're really hard to get them to adjust. Because I get them on the set mark for basically cotton is what they set it up for. They don't set it up for anything else. So if you see one like that doesn't have any knobs, maybe they have a tension, but they don't have any width or anything here, those are the ones you got to watch out for, because they can break down pretty easy. Now, a lot of them, well, I think Kenmore's is like that, but they don't seem to break down that easily because they're set. But then there's some people out there that think they can mess around with them and unset them. Anyway, let's get off that subject. But overall, this sewing machine is a really good sewing machine. It's easy to run. It's not that hard. And when you want to go back, you want to turn it off, because I would turn it off. I wouldn't leave it on all the time. Those little lights there are so expensive if you end up burning one of those out. Oh, I can't believe how expensive those things are. So it's best, if you're not using it, to turn it off. And that way it stays on the light. Other than that, this machine is a really good machine. But the lady can pick her sewing machine up because I'm done with it. And hopefully, you guys can subscribe to me, follow me. And each time you see a playlist, you can actually subscribe to the playlist. If you don't want to subscribe to the entire channel, I mean, which is fine if you do that. But then you say, well, I want to only do this playlist. And you go into the playlist, which is called interviewing a sewing machine. In other words, the sewing machine don't talk back. I just talk about the sewing machine. Anyway, and then you click on that playlist, and every time something goes into it, it'll literally give you an alarm through your email or through your, if you're using your phone, it will go through your notifications. It'll tell you, hey, she just uploaded a new video for sewing machine. Might want to watch it. Might learn something. Anyway, I'm going to let you go and have a blessed day, and hopefully you'll see another video pop up eventually. Okay? Talk to you later. Bye.